Good morning, children. Do you go to school regularly? Have you ever seen a child who doesn't go to school? There may be a lot of reason for a child not going to school. Maybe the parents could not afford it, means they are not financially well, or they have other major responsibilities on their shoulders, or there may be a reason that the parents don't realize the importance of education. So today we are going to read this small story about a child just like you all whose name is Garima. So let's read the story and find out more about her. Garima and Keshav were twins. Their father was a shopkeeper and mother was a housewife. Housewife means she doesn't have a job outside the home. She spends her time in cleaning the house, cooking, looking after the family, etc. Garima helped her mother in the kitchen. She was often asked to mop the floor or clean the pots. On the other hand, Keshav was never called to do any household work. He would laze around the house and play with the mobile phone. Laze around means he does not do any work. He just passes his time here and there just like that without doing anything worthwhile. Even during the examination time, only Garima had to help her mother. She would be disturbed as there was not much time left to study. This made Garima very irritated sometimes. Irritated means annoyed. She felt angry at that time. So, you see, children, the parents are only doing the discrimination. Even though Garima and Keshav are from the same family, same house, they both are twins, but in spite of that, Garima was overburdened. She had to study along with doing all the household work. But on the other hand, Keshav was totally relaxed, free from all the burdens and always play on his mobile phones. Even during the exams, Garima was not spared, due to which she used to get irritated as she didn't get enough time to study. Let's move on. After a few days, the children's mother fell ill. She was admitted in the hospital. The medicines were expensive. Her treatment took a long time. Garima's father could not bear the responsibility of education of both children as well as continue the treatment of their mother. So after a few days, Garima's mother fell ill and she was so ill that she was hospitalized in the hospital. She was admitted in the hospital. The medicines were very expensive, very costly, and Garima's father was not a very rich man. So it was difficult for him to pay the bills of the hospital as well as continue the education of both the children. So what he did after that? He decided to discontinue Garima's education, although she was a brilliant student and always excelled in her class. So children, as there was a lot of financial pressure means the pressure which is related to money on the family. So Garima's father decided to discontinue the studies of Garima even when she was a brilliant, very bright student and always performed very well in her class. Let's see what happened after that. Mr. Pradeep, Garima's science teacher, was shocked to know about her dropping out of the school. Dropping out means discontinuing. So Garima was going to discontinue her studies. He decided to meet her parents. He took the address from the school office and reached Garima's house. Keshav opened the door and came out. "I am Garima's teacher," Mr. Pradeep said. The boy let him come in. Mr. Pradeep entered a small room where he saw Garima's mother lying on the bed. Garima was cooking food in the kitchen. She came out and wished her teacher. She brought tea and water for him. On the other hand, her brother continued playing games on the mobile phone. When Mr. Pradeep talked to Garima's mother about her education, she told the reason why Garima had to discontinue her studies. So, Mr. Pradeep, Garima's science teacher, was really a concerned person. He was shocked to know that Garima was going to discontinue the studies. So, he thought to pay a visit to Garima's house and find out the condition. What were the condition due to which Garima had to discontinue her studies? So, when he went to her house, he saw that her ill mother was lying on the bed and Garima was cooking in the kitchen. After that, what happened? Mr. Pradeep comforted her mother and decided to talk to her father. Comforted means reassured, consoled. He met the children's father. the following day and asked him, "Why did you discontinue Garima's education? She is such a bright girl." Garima's father replied, "She is a girl. What is the use of her studying? She just needs to learn how to cook and look after the house." Mr. Pradeep disagreed. "That is not true. Girls are always equal to boys and have the capability to do everything that boys can." "That may be true, but I don't have the money to send Garima to school," said Garima's father. Mr. Pradeep felt saddened by Garima's plight and decided to help her in any way he could. Plight means the condition, the difficult situation of Garima. So Mr. Pradeep was saddened. He was very sad by the Garima's situation. Garima's father, according to him, boys can study, but girls, they have to look after their house. So there is no requirement of sending them to school. They don't need to study. But Mr. Pradeep, who was a teacher, he told Garima's father that that is not true. Girls are equally capable to do anything and everything whatever boys can do. So after that, Garima's father told him that he doesn't have money to pay the bills of her education. Hearing all that, Mr. Pradeep decided to help Garima in whatever way possible. The next day, Mr. Pradeep talked to the school principal about Garima's situation. Both of them, along with the other teachers, decided to help Garima. Now children, there is a small printing mistake. The school principal always starts with capital P. So you all make this small p as capital. Let's move on. They contacted some organizations who give help for girls' education and raised funds for her so that Garima could continue her studies. Raised funds means they collected money for Garima so that she can continue her studies. Soon Garima rejoined school. Her parents were thankful to Mr. Pradeep for his efforts and finally realized the importance of educating girl. So, finally Garima's parents were thankful to Mr. Pradeep because it was Mr. Pradeep who initiated, who went to Garima's house. He looked into her condition and then met the principal, spoke to the other teachers, and finally they all helped Garima in starting her studies. So children, this lesson tells us that there is no difference between the boys and girls. There is no such work which only boys can do or only girls can do. If girls can do household work like brooming, mopping, organizing things, so can be done by the boys as well. Children, there is no shame in doing household work. It is a skill which everyone should learn and do. There is no such label that this work can only be done by boys or this work can only be done by girls. And as far as education is concerned, going to school is concerned, it is important for both. Now children, this lesson is done. Let's move on to the comprehension part. Question number A. Based on your reading of the story, answer the following questions. Question number 1. What were Garima and Keshav's job in the house? So the answer is Garima helped her mother in the kitchen, mopped the floor and cleaned the pots, while Keshav was never called to do household work. He would laze around the house and play with the mobile phone. Question number 2. Why did Garima's father discontinue her studies? Answer. Garima's father could not bear the responsibility of education of both the children as well as continue the treatment of their mother, so he decided to discontinue her studies. Question number 3. Who was concerned about Garima? What did he do to help her? Answer. Mr. Pradeep, Garima's science teacher, was concerned about Garima. He decided to meet her parents. Question number 4. How did school authorities help Garima? Answer. The school authorities contacted some organizations who give help for girls' education and raised funds for her so that Garima could continue her studies. Question number 5. What do we learn from this story? We learn from this story that girls are equal to boys and have the capability to do everything that boys can. Question number B. Think and write yes or no for the following questions. Question number 1. Is it right to discriminate between a boy and a girl? So we should differentiate between a boy and girl. Girls are different, boys are different, boys are superior, girls are inferior. We should think like this? No. So this is a false statement. We will write here no. Should a boy know how to cook food and sweep the floor? Yes. It is a kind of skill which everybody should know. One should know how to cook food and keep the house clean. Question number 3. Is the education of a boy more important than the education of a girl? No. We know that boys and girls both are equal. So, it is equally important to educate a boy as well as a girl. For this sentence, we will write no. Let's move on to question number C. Based on the story, rearrange the following sequence of events. Now, here some events are given, 10 events are given. We have to arrange them according to their happening in the story. So, when you will read all these sentences, you will come to know which event happened first, and after that what happened, and after that what happened. Like here, sentence number 2, you can see Garima and Keshav were twins. This is your first sentence. Then, sentence number 5, Garima did all the household chores while Keshav lazed around the house. This is your second sentence. So, you will write 2. Household chores means all the household work. Then, sentence number 7, their mother fell ill and had to be admitted to an expensive hospital. This is your sentence number 3. Then, fourth sentence, Garima's father discontinued her studies. This is your fourth statement. Okay, after this, ninth statement, Mr. Pradeep was shocked to hear about Garima discontinuing her education. This is your sentence number 5. Then sentence number 6, you can see is sixth one. He went to Garima's house and talked to her mother. This is the sixth sentence, is the sixth number. Then seventh is the 10th one. 10th statement, you can see he met the children's father and talked to him. This is your 7th sentence. After this, see the third one. Mr. Pradeep talked to the school principal about Garima's situation. This is your 8th statement. Then see the first one. First statement, the school teachers contacted some organizations who help for girls' education and raised funds for Garima. This is your 9th statement. And then 8th statement, Garima rejoined school and her parents were thankful to him. This is your 10th statement. After this, language structure, people and profession. Question number A, write the names of the places where the following people work. Now, specific names of people are written here. We have to write their workplace. Like for example, a chef. A chef is a person who cooks food in a restaurant. So his workplace is kitchen. He works in the kitchen. And a nurse. A nurse works in a hospital. A sailor works on a ship. A teacher works in a school. A conductor works on a bus. A clerk works in office. Question number B. Fill in the blanks by choosing the names of the persons engaged in particular types of work from the help box given below. Now here, names of people who are engaged in particular types of work are given in this table. We have to choose them appropriately and fill in the blanks. Like first one, a dash delivers letters. Who delivers letters? A postman. So is it given in the help box? Yes. So you will write postman in the first one. Second, a dash looks at the cavities in our teeth. So who treats the cavities? Cavities are the small infection which we get in our teeth. So it is dentist. Third, a dash stitches cloth. Who stitches cloth? A tailor. Fourth, a dash sells sugar and wheat. Who sells sugar and wheat? A grocer. Fifth, a dash treats diseases. Who treats diseases? Doctor. Sixth, and dash designs machine. Who designs machines? Engineer. An engineer designs machines. Grammarly, adverbs. Adverbs are words which describes verbs. Verbs are action words and add to their meaning. It means an adverb is a word that tells something more about a verb, something more about an action. Let's understand this with the help of this example. I ate my dinner quickly. Now, what is the action word or verb here? Ate. And how I ate, in what manner I ate my dinner? Quickly. So, here the word quickly describes the action word ate. Second example, my father came home early. Now, what is the action word here? Came. And when this action took place? early. So my father came home early. So here early word is describing the action word came. Action words are called as verbs. So children, an adverb tells how, where or when an action happens. Children, sometimes we get confused between an adverb and an adjective. Adverbs describe verbs, whereas adjective describe the nouns. An adverb never describes a noun. It always describes the verbs, which is action word. Now children, in this chapter, we are going to study about two types of adverbs. One is adverbs of manner and the second one is adverbs of time. Adverbs of manner tells us how and in which manner an action takes place. For example, the horse runs fast. Now here, first we have to check the verb. Verb here is runs. And in what manner the horse runs? Fast. So fast is the word that describes the verb runs. So here fast will be adverbs of manner. Second example, the sun shines brightly. What is the verb here? Shines. In what manner the sun shines? Brightly. So the word brightly describes the verb shines. So brightly is the adverb of manner. It is telling in what manner the sun shines. Second, adverbs of time. It tells us the time when an action takes place. For example, first one, the flight came late. Here what is the verb? Came. And when the flight came? Late. So here late is the word that is describing the verb came. So late is the adverb of time here. Second, Samir went to school today. First check the verb. It is went. Samir went. And when he went to school? He went today. So today is the adverb of time. It is telling us the time when Samir went to school. So today is the adverb of time. Now based on this information, let us do question number A. Choose the correct adverbs of manner from the box to complete the following sentences. Now here a help box is given in green color and some adverbs of manners are written inside it. We have to use these adverbs of manner to fill the blanks which are given below. Question number 1. The turtle moved dash across the road. So in what manner the turtle moved? So here we have to find appropriate adverb of manner in which the turtle moved. So the turtle moved slowly across the road. We know that turtle cannot run fast. So the appropriate adverb of manner for turtle will be slowly. Second, the lion rode dash in the forest. Now we have to find out appropriate adverb of manner in which the lion rode. Action word is rode here. So the lion rode angrily in the forest. Third, the students sat dash in the classroom. So here we will write quietly. The students sat quietly in the classroom. Fourth, the boy waited for his mother dash. So the boy waited for his mother patiently. Fifth, we crossed the road dash. So we crossed the road carefully. Sixth, the king fought dash. So here we will find a word which will describe the manner in which the king fought. So the king fought bravely. Seventh, write dash in your notebook. So write neatly in your notebook. Eighth, he swims dash. So he swims well. Question number B. Underline the verbs in the following sentences and circle the adverbs of time. Children, you may come across some words like is, am, are, has, have, was, were, should, would, might, must and many more which are given in this table. Children, these words are also verbs. They are not proper action words. So we call them helping verbs. So in this question, as we have to underline the verbs, we will be looking for these helping verbs also. we will be underlining these helping verbs also. Question number 1. The weather is very hot today. So here verbs that need to be underlined are is very hot. And when is weather very hot? It is today. So today is the adverb of time. So we have to circle today and we have to underline is very hot. Second, the teacher will come soon. So the verbs that need to be underlined are will come. And when will she come? Soon. So the adverb of time is soon. Third, she will go to the market tomorrow. So verb will be will go. We will underline will go as the verbs. And she will go tomorrow. So tomorrow is the adverb of time. Next question. The team will play in the semi-finals tomorrow. So children, in this sentence, we will underline will play as the verbs and we will circle tomorrow, which is the adverb of time. Next, fifth statement. Sunita is always late for school. So here, the verbs which need to be underlined are is and late. We will underline is and late. And when is Sunita late? Always. So always is the adverb of time. We will circle always. Sixth, I met my aunt yesterday. Here met is the verb and yesterday is the adverb of time. Next question, listen and tell. Listen to the story spoken by the teacher and tell it aloud in your words. You may listen to the story twice and discuss the details of the story with your partner. Now there is a story, children, which is written on page number 112. I will read the story and after listening and understanding this story, you will tell the story aloud in your class in your own words. And then you will also discuss the details of the story, what all things happened in the story, what did you learn from the story, all these things you will discuss with your friends. The story is like this. It was the summer season. The grasshopper was hopping and singing all around a garden. Soon he saw an ant which was carrying a grain to his home. Since the grain was quite big in size, the ant found it difficult to carry the grain. The grasshopper said to the ant, "Why don't you come and play with me?" The ant answered, "I am saving food for my family for the winter." "Dear friend, why are you wasting your time? You should also gather some food for your family." The grasshopper said, "Why should I bother for the winter? I have plenty of food now." The ant shook his head in disbelief and became busy with his work. Disbelief means he couldn't believe the grasshopper that he is wasting all his time in playing here and there and he is not saving food for winter. When winter came, the grasshopper and his family had no food. He and his family were hungry. He saw the ant enjoying the grains. The grasshopper realized his folly and said to himself, "We must always work hard and save something for the bad times." So this is the story, children. You can listen to the story again and again, and after understanding the story, you have to narrate the story in your class. Now next is be creative. In this activity, you have to imagine that you are Rohini or Rahul, depending on you are a boy or you are a girl. If you are a girl, you will imagine yourself as Rohini, and if you are a boy, you will imagine yourself as Rahul. You met with an accident and sprained your left hand. Sprain means you have hurt your left hand. Write an application to the principal of your school requesting him or her to grant you leave for 1 week. So you have to write an application to your principal requesting him or her to grant you leave for 1 week. Now children, whenever we write any application, we first write sender's address, then we write date, then we write receiver's address, then subject, then salutation, then we write the body of the letter and then complimentary clause. Now children, the application which is given over here is written in short form. So we will follow this format and we will write an application. So date, you will write today's date, then the principal, and here you will write the address of the school, And then the subject. In subject, we write the reason for writing this application. Then the salutation, respected sir or ma'am, that is the salutation, and then we will write the body of the letter, the entire content of the letter. And then in the last, we will write complimentary clause. So the application would be like this. First, you will write the date. Here I have written today's date. The principal, Army Public School. This is Bhatinda Cant. So here I have written Bhatinda Cant. You can write the name of the place wherever you belong to. Next is subject. Subject is leave application. We are writing this application to avail leave. Next is salutation, respected ma'am, because here the principal is a lady. That is why I have written ma'am here. Then body of the letter. This is to bring under your kind consideration that I, Rohini, a student of class 3rd D, will be unable to attend the school from 23rd August 21 to 28th August 21 as I met with an accident and have sprained my left hand. So the doctor has advised me to take rest for a week. Kindly grant me leave for 1 week and oblige. Thanking you, yours obediently, Rohini, class 3rd D. So in this way you have to write this application in your notebook. Let's move on to talk time. Work in small groups and enact the following conversation according to the instructions or adverbs given in the brackets. Now here there are some characters, so you all can become some of the other characters, and then according to the adverbs which are given, like loudly, clearly, softly, sharply, gently, this way you have to speak these sentences. Like narrator says, it is a bright and sunny day. All the students are sitting in the classroom. Now teacher, loudly. Teacher has to say it loudly. Good morning, students. The students will also say loudly. Good morning, teacher. Teacher, clearly. Please sit down and take out your English textbooks. So the teacher has to say the sentence clearly. Similarly, children, other sentences are given and some adverbs of manner are given. You have to use these adverbs while speaking out these sentences. So this activity you will do it in your class in the presence of your teacher. In this way, children, this chapter is done. In case you have any doubt, any difficulty in understanding any particular word or sentence or question, please write your query in the comment box. I'll try to solve it as soon as possible. All the best, children.